All right, Adelmi, just tell me what happened from start to finish.
Okay, so I guess everything kind of started at the 11 p.m. show. I was on campus to be live from CPH, and then I did see a large police presence. There was definitely a lot of protesters, a lot of law enforcement, not only police officers, but the sheriff's department, CPH was there. Um, there were a lot of people on deck. So they had a couple of streets blocked off, so I had to park a little bit away from the scene. I walked over there, I did my live hit, and then I brought my equipment back to the car, and then I got back on site and I just started walking around. And then I would hear police saying that students had 15 or protesters had 15 minutes to leave the area. So that played on for a couple of hours. I was told that the announcement started around 10 p.m. in the evening, so a little bit before I got there. And when I got there, they were still going on. So I got B-roll, I was recording sound, I was trying to get interviews, but a lot of protesters were denying to be on camera. So I was just walking around, and then I started hearing about an arrest. So when I went to go check out the arrest, I got it on video. And then I went back to the scene, and then I was told that a raid police was coming. And so I went over to the quad, the main area where people were protesting, and I started just recording. I went live on Facebook and I was recording everything and I was moving around trying to get different angles. And I caught the attention of the responding or the first officers that were on the scene. And I was told to move to the side, and then I was told to go with them. And then they took off my backpack and they were saying that I was detained. And I was explaining to them, like, I'm news. I was showing them my press badge. I was showing them my jacket. So I was like, I'm here for the news. I'm here to do my job. And then they basically told me that I shouldn't have been on campus at that time. And that because of that, they were taking us away. And so then I got zip tied and I was taken to a Humboldt County Sheriff's Office vehicle area. And then that's when they were getting my information. They took my belongings and then they put me in a transportation vehicle. And then we went over to the Humboldt County Jail.
Boy, okay. And then what happened when you're in the jail now? So when were you able to get out? What happened then?
So while I was there at the Humboldt County Jail, they patted me down, they took my sweaters, and they took my jewelry because I was wearing a ring and a bracelet. They took my ring and my bracelet, and they also took my press badge. And so from there, I was just in the little waiting room area. They took my mug shots. They didn't take any fingerprints, but they took my mug shots. And then I just waited around. And then Sheriff William Hansel ended up approaching me and he pulled me aside. And then we talked a little bit about what happened and how I got in the middle of it. He apologized that I got caught in the middle of it. And then he said that they're just gonna like process my stuff and then I would be free to go. And so Sheriff William Hansel took me back to Cal Poly Humboldt and he got my belongings back from the other sheriffs or the sheriff deputies. And then I was free to go. I just started messaging the chat. I was updating everyone that I was like back, that things were fine. And then I just got back to work.
So the sheriff himself brought you back to your vehicle.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow. How were you treated, both by the protesters and by the law enforcement?
Yeah, so many of the protesters were very friendly. They weren't rude to me or anything. There were some who just didn't want to speak to me, and they just, I guess, I'm not sure. There were some people that were a little bit iffy about me being on campus and recording everything. But at the end of the day, I think the most aggressive officer towards me was the one who zip tied me. He was the one that was the most aggressive, but everyone else was really nice, and I was complying with everything. I was listening to their orders. So yeah, everything inside of the jail was fine.
So I want to emphasize, I think that the officer that zip tied you, et cetera, that was CDCR. That was not local, Eureka Police or Humboldt County Sheriff's Office. It was,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
correct.
yeah, okay, yeah. But anything else you'd like to say?
I'm just thankful that the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department responded to my situation so quickly and they were able to get it solved as soon as possible. So I'm really thankful that that ended up not escalating and that I was able to get out safely.
Did the officers not believe you or not? No, I mean, you were wearing a jacket that identified you as a member of the news media.
Mhm.
They just didn't think you were a reporter, or they didn't care you were a reporter.
They didn't care that I was a reporter.
Uh,
They just said, as long as you're on campus, we're able to detain you. So,
okay, good. Well, Adelmi, thank you very much. I want you to get
of
some rest,
course.
number one. Uh, and
Definitely.
we'll have something on the news tonight and then kind of let you recover a little bit before we go on to the next chapter in this story.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Adelmi, very much. Thank you for being a hardcore journalist there. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.